Boom! Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Pan from TechDude, and in this video we are going to talk about Xiaomi 15s. And there is a little surprise here. This smartphone have launched in China, and this smartphone is not coming with a Snapdragon processor nor a MediaTek processor or Exynos processor or Tensor processor. It is coming with Xring 01 processor, which is the own processor from Xiaomi, and they have started manufacturing their own processors. And I know it is their first gen processor. There are lots of doubts and questions about it, like how does it perform in gaming, as well as how does it perform in day-to-day tasks. It is good for gaming, and always the battery optimization in this processor. So there are lots of questions regarding it, so let us talk about it. So talking about the architecture of the processor, it comes with a 3 nanometer TMC processor, just like an Apple A18 Pro, which you can see in this newer 16th generation iPhone, as well as Snapdragon 8 Elite also uses the same nanometer, and Dimensity 9400 processor also use the same nanometer. Talking about the physical things, it comes with 10 cores. So this Xring processor come with 10 cores, which is higher than any other chipset. It comes with 2 high performance cores, 6 performance cores, and 2 efficiency cores. And talking about the clock speed, it is not that great, but the chip size is the smallest among the all. Talking about the GPU of this Xring processor, it has same GPU as MediaTek Dimensity 9400 has, but Xring has more cores and lower clock speed, whereas MediaTek has less cores, more clock speed. And it also comes with a 6-core NPU, and it comes with the MediaTek T800 modem. So another major thing is that Xiaomi has their 4th generation ISP is nothing but their image processing. And talking about the specs, it comes with a 16GB LPDDR5T RAM, and it also comes with a 512GB ROM as well as 1TB UFS storage, which is UFS 4.1, and UFS 4.1 is the latest storage compared to UFS 2.2 and 3.0. And so those who don't know, LPDDR5 T RAM is 13% faster than LPDDR5X RAM. So it will make huge difference on the paper, like it will launch apps faster, or it will restart faster, or else it will hold too much memory, too many apps in the background. So another major thing, let us talk about benchmarks. Benchmarks doesn't give the accurate it doesn't reflect accurate performance in real life. There are lots of factors varies on the performance of the smartphone, but it will give a rough idea where you can directly compare the scores to their competition, which will give a basic idea about the performance of the processor. And so let us talk about it. Talking about Antutu, it scores more than 2.5 million, which is even more than Dimensity 9000 processor, and it is slightly behind Snapdragon 8 Elite processor. And compared to any other processor, this Xring processor heats up a lot. So talking about the Geekbench score, in the single core score, it is quite surprising. It even beats Apple A18 Pro in the multi-core score. So considering it is the first chipset from Xiaomi, it is a great achievement in beating the Apple in terms of benchmark scores. So there are lots of smartphones which are trying from ages to compete with Apple, such as Exynos processors as well as Tensor processor, but they are not able to do that. But Xiaomi on the first try, they literally try to compete with Apple, which is quite interesting. The major thing is that talking about the Geekbench score, it scores more in Vulkan as well as OpenCL, and even in CPU throttling test, the phone was performed pretty much stable in terms of everything. Even we have according to the benchmarks, we have tested it for 100 minutes. The performance was pretty much stable. It was not that unstable that it was overheating, and there is no performance drop in terms of the processor. So I feel like it is a pretty much stable processor compared to their first generation Xiaomi processor. If you take Tensor as an example, it is 1000 times better. I know I roast Google pretty much very badly. Sorry Google, but you have to improve your processors as well as your performance, your battery life on your smartphone, and it should be well optimized. And let us talk about the gaming now. Because people are much more interested in gaming. So talking about COD, which is Call of Duty Mobile, you can go up to maximum of the maximums of the settings, and it will perform stable 120 FPS. So there is no frame drops if you play COD. And let us talk about BGMI, everyone's favorite. So talking about BGMI. This phone only performs up to 60 fps because Xiaomi 15s is a Chinese variant. I mean 15s Pro is a Chinese variant, so BGMI is not well optimized for this smartphone. Otherwise it can also push up to 120 fps. And talking about everyone's favorite game, which is Genshin Impact, you can play this game in highest of the highest setting, but the phone performs pretty much stable in 60 fps. And at 60 there were no frame drops while playing Genshin Impact. 60 fps were pretty much constant. And another major thing is that heating issue. So this Xiaomi X-Ring 01 processor has a lot of heating issue. While benchmarking, it was emitting more heat than its competition, and while gaming the temperature was pretty much decent. So during the benchmark the phone pretty much heated up to their max. Let us talk about the ISP. Is nothing but image processing. So it typically decides the clarity of the images and the videos that you shot on your smartphone. So Xiaomi made their own ISP, which is their own image processing processor. So the photos on this smartphone comes very sharp. So compared to compared to their competition, the pictures on the smartphones are pretty much great. So talking about the ISP, Xiaomi did a great job. The image processing on the Xiaomi is decent. It is not as great as on Snapdragon processors, but it is pretty much decent on the first try. Another major thing is that network quality. The network quality on this X-Ring processors is great. They are not bad as tensors like Pixel. Pixel smartphones have bad network quality, but Xiaomi nailed it on their first go. And we have tested Jio and Airtel, but everything was pretty much fine. So the final conclusion about this Xiaomi 15s Pro and their new processor is that it performs pretty much well in day-to-day tasks as well as gaming. BGMI is not it is a Chinese variant, so BGMI is not well optimized in this smartphone. If the smartphone launches in India, it will go up to 120 fps. So there is no major issue in that. Except BGMI, it performs pretty much well in many other games, and the image quality and the videos on the smartphone also super duper great, and they are pretty much decent, and they are not as great as on the Snapdragon processor, but they are pretty much decent compared to any other SoC like Exynos or Tensor. And if you are someone who is looking for a balanced smartphone, this may be a balanced smartphone. And it also performs as a direct competition to Apple A18 Pro as well as A8 Lite. So the performance is not an issue on this smartphone. And one more major thing is that if you are worried about network quality, the network quality also pretty much decent, and I am excited to try this smartphone. So if it is launches in India, I'm pretty much open to try it, because everything in the smartphone is decent, as well as they are pretty much stable in terms of performance, so why not. And one more major thing is that cheers to Xiaomi, they pretty much nailed it on their first go. And that's it for this video guys. If you are new to this channel, drop a like, drop a comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you.